There are 64,807 people employed in the Swiss watch industry. Among these, just 36 are full members of the AHCI, the Academy of Independent Watchmakers, less than 0.06%. Those at the pinnacle hand-finish movements that later fetch eight-figure sums at Philips, yet most earn less than a mid-career Zurich software engineer until reaching their 70s. This chronicles every stage of a Swiss watchmaker's journey, where the financial rewards rarely reach the craftsman's hands. That's what Rank Breakdown is all about. If you like career breakdowns with real numbers and no fluff, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Level 1, The Apprentice. You are 15 years old at the École Technique de la Vallée de Joux. The Swiss Federal Apprenticeship, the Coup-Fusé Horloger, spans 4 years, with 2/3 spent at the workbench. First-year wages range between 596 and 894 Swiss francs monthly, paid over 13 months. By year 4, earnings peak at 1,788 Swiss francs, still below a Zurich barista's income. For non-resident foreigners, ETVJ tuition costs 16,200 Swiss francs annually, with first-year materials adding another 2,500 to 3,200. You begin by crafting your own tools before being trusted with a movement. The pièce d'école, a personally manufactured piece, meticulously turned, drilled, and assembled by hand, proves your competence with brass and steel. Philippe Dufour completed his training in La Sentier in 1967, then was sent to Sainte-Croix to service Jaeger-LeCoultre watches. Days blur under a magnifying loupe, hands never quite steady enough. 3 apprentices in the cohort abandon their dreams in the first year. Another departs between years 2 and 3. The federal exam stands as the sole gateway. Pass, and you're a certified horloger. Fail, and 4 years vanish into thin air. Level 2, the service watchmaker. You are 19. Having passed the Coup-Fusé, you're positioned at a service bench in Biel or Neuchâtel within the Arc Horloger, which encompasses 93.4% of Swiss watch employment. The 2026 median industry wage sits at 5,958 Swiss francs monthly, approximately 77,400 annually. Entry-level data suggests around 59,000, while a Rolex watchmaker averages about $80,780. Each day follows a repetitive rhythm. Diagnose a rate error, disassemble the movement, cleanse it in an ultrasonic bath, lubricate 9 pivots with various compounds, and regulate on a timing machine. 1 watch daily, sometimes 2. Wrists succumb first, carpal tunnel, microscope strain, until the sobering realization dawns. You're merely maintaining someone else's creation. In the United States, the American Watchmakers Clockmakers Institute reports a dire ratio. 1 new watchmaker enters for every 10 who retire. Rolex's Dallas Training Center, launched in 2023, aims to bridge this gap. 15 students per intake, twice yearly, with free tuition and an $1,800 monthly stipend. The pipeline remains devastatingly narrow. Level 3, the assembly watchmaker. You are 24, recruited by prestigious manufacturers like Patek Philippe, Vacheron Constantin, Audemars Piguet, or Jaeger-LeCoultre. You now construct series movements. Annual compensation ranges between 70,000 and 90,000 Swiss francs. Glassdoor's Patek Geneva sample indicates a median of $76,218. Patek's career trajectory is explicitly mapped: essential maintenance, classic, complications, grand complications, 4 levels, approximately 36 months apart. Their 2015 New York Horology program selected 6 students from nearly 300 applicants, a 50-to-1 selection ratio. The 2017 Swiss intake mirrored this exclusivity, choosing 6 from 380 candidates. The workspace is pristine, tooling superior, cycle times stringent. You assemble a chronograph movement independently, with the atelier lead permitting its release without correction. Yet the harsh truth emerges: you will never sign the dial. Rare exceptions like Recep Recipe's apprentice piece exist, but anonymity remains the industry standard. One day, a tourbillon cage arrives, and a rarely spoken senior asks if you'll hand finish the bridge. Finishing, anglage, involves 45-degree hand beveling, consuming tens of hours per bridge set. Black polish requires progressive diamond paste, with 3 hours dedicated to a single tourbillon bridge. The mirror's surface must be so flat it appears black when struck by light at an angle. You load the bridge, push, verify, push again. The angle slips. A single micrometer's error transforms the bridge into scrap. A junior ruined one last month and was transferred to service. The workspace remains unchanged. Your hand trembles at the hinge of the push. Your pulse quivers through the tweezers. You complete the task. The workshop lead carries the bridge to the window, angles it under raking light, and returns it wordlessly. That's how you understand. You've advanced to complications, or you're on the brink. Level 4, the Complications Watchmaker, UR32. The compensation ranges from 90 to 130,000 Swiss francs, with Patek's 90th percentile at 133,435 US dollars, approximately 118,000 Swiss francs. This matches a mid-level Zurich software engineer's total package at a standard Swiss employer. Google Zurich's median sits at 277,000 Swiss francs. Meta offers between 397 and 402. You craft tourbillons, perpetual calendars, and minute repeaters beneath a stereo microscope with your heartbeat still vibrating through the tweezers. Minute repeater tuning demands between 200 and 300 hours per watchmaker per movement. A complete repeater, including research, extends beyond 1,000 hours. The Geneva seal, the Point Conde de Genève, rests on 12 criteria established in 1886 and updated in 2011, with the movement requiring construction, assembly, and adjustment within Geneva's canton. Only TimeLab can authenticate it. You adjust a gong, strike it, listen, and readjust. The repeater resonates cleanly across both gongs, and an unnamed client in Singapore receives a watch worth more than your residence. Kari Voutilainen spent 9 years at Parmigiani, 1990 to 1999, restoring the Sandoz collection under Charles Malan. Philippe Dufour completed 5 grand and petite sonnerie pocket watch movements for Audemars Piguet, beginning in 1982, without credit. That's the choice. Stay, and you're confined. Leave, and the precipice awaits. Level 5, the Independent. You are 42 and have departed. A Schaublin 70 lathe, used and equipped, costs between 5 and 20,000 Swiss francs. A Schaublin 102, from used to new, ranges from 10 to 50,000. A single Bergen accessories set runs between 649 and 1,139 US dollars, with 10 to 20 sets required. Triangulated, a complete bench setup falls between 100 and 300,000 Swiss francs. You finance this by restoring others' watches, mirroring Voutilainen's approach, __0___. You produce 2 to 6 watches annually. François-Paul Journe launched his 1999 subscription tourbillon using a Breguet-style model. A 50% deposit upfront, doubling Breguet's historical 25%, with 20 pieces sold to collector acquaintances. The independence journey bears pressure. There's immense strain as an entrepreneur when your name and brand are at stake. You sell your first piece under your signature, then the second, then the third. Dufour went independent in 1978, with his first personally named watch emerging in Basel, 1992. 14 years of antique pocket watch restoration preceded the world's first grande and petite sonnerie wristwatch on his dial. In his words, certain dictionary entries must vanish. Weekends, holidays, retirement, level 6, the master. You're in your 70s, same bench, same tweezers, same Schaublin lathe. A Dufour Simplicity, launched in 2000 at roughly 35 to 50,000 US dollars. The final pieces of the initial run sold around 89,000 Swiss francs by 2014. In November 2020, the 20th anniversary Simplicity No. 00 fetched 1,361,000 Swiss francs at Philips Geneva, approximately 40 times its original price. November 2021 saw Philips Geneva selling 4 Dufour lots. A Grand and Petite Sonnerie No. 1 at 4,749,000. a duality number 8 at 3,660,000, a simplicity number 57 at 756,000, totaling about 11.4 million Swiss francs in one evening. The wholesale reached 68,263,230 Swiss francs across 248 lots, with a 100% sell-through. You constructed the watches, the auction houses, the dealers, the collectors. They reaped the financial rewards. Per Oralback's March 2025 statement, merely 14 of over 6,000 Philips lots remained unsold in the preceding 4 years. Philips shapes the market, and the market defines the reputation. Greubel Forsey produces around 100 watches annually, starting at $300,000. Vudo Lehnen creates 45 to 50 with 14 to 15 artisans. Roger Smith has built 185 watches in his lifetime, fewer than 10 per year. That represents the pinnacle. On December 6, 2025, Philips New York sold an F.P. Journe FFC prototype gifted to Francis Ford Coppola for $10,775,000. The hammer fell in 11 minutes, establishing a world record for any independent watchmaker's wristwatch. François-Paul Journe received nothing. Pierre Halimi, who manages F.P. Journe in the United States, stated bluntly in December 2025, "you witness the auction paddle rise in a distant room beyond your compensation." Dufour continues his unspoken narrative. No marketing strategy, no calculated communication, just the product's inherent eloquence. With each passing year, the crafted piece articulates its worth more powerfully than any words. Dufour remains silent. The funds you never realized now finance another's maritime luxury. Yet your workbench, unchanged and steadfast, awaits your return at dawn's first light.